I'm Jacqueline Quinn, Deputy Director at DCRAC. I'm here to help you with your housing, tax, or title problem, so give me a call anytime, and I'm happy to meet to see what we can do together.
My name is Joe Gross. I'm the Credit Clinic Director here at DCRAC. I'm the one that would sit down with you, develop a budget, figure out a spending plan, pull your credit report, and see if there's any way we can improve that.
Hi, my name is Lillian Harrison, and I'm the Housing Director for DCRAC. And as the Housing Director, I help people with foreclosure prevention, pre-purchase counseling, credit, and budgeting. And it's absolutely my pleasure to serve you.
Hi, my name is Anthony Doring. I'm Delaware's free tax attorney and the director at the DCRAC Low Income Tax Clinic. If you receive a notice from the IRS, please give me a call as soon as possible so I can schedule for a free consultation.
Hi, my name is Maricela Tovar Rangel, and I am responsible for doing the intake process here at DCRAC. And I also manage the credit union, Stepping Stones Community Federal Credit Union, y también hablo español.
Hi, my name is Christian Pillerino. I work for DCRAC as an outreach director. I enjoy working for community and local families.
Hi, my name is Howard Keener. I'm the Director of Strategic Projects and Community Affairs for DCRAC. I work on human resources, internal policies and procedures, and community development, and also marketing for DCRAC.
Hello, Delaware. How are you? I'm Rashmi Rangan, and go Eagles! Go Eagles! So today, my plan is to share with you a tape from 2000, because I always tell you, I've been saying the same thing all the time that I've been with you. So I am, of course, 17 years younger in that tape, but content-wise, you will notice there isn't much difference in the sense I encourage you to save, to be smart about credit, to be a smart consumer of money. So, quick announcements, and then we will roll into watching me 17 years ago. Mission 723. If you have an Android or an iOS cell phone, you can search for in the App Store Mission 723. It is a free app. It is 52 weeks of push notices to you, basically encouraging you to do two things. One is to save, say $1 week 1, $2 week 2, $50 week 50, $52 week 52. And the other thing is to get you ready to build your credit score. And I've always said have an awesome credit score. It is not rocket science. It is easy, but if you think it is rocket science, guess what? Our mission 723 is heading to planet 723, and you are the pilot on that rocket. So, well, you'll learn along the way, of course, everything traditional about credit. Our credit union, the van, is now at Harrison Street, 600 South Harrison Street, on Tuesdays from 11:30 to 2:30. Now, as we put our website out, we're going to put a page for Book a Van, where you will contact us if you have a large constituency, large community interested in having us come over to you so that we can open accounts. What is going to happen at the van? We will open your accounts. We will fund those accounts with $5. We will then give you information about direct deposit, and we will issue you an ATM card. With the ATM card, you could go to a WSFS ATM network, or Wawa, or Royal Farm ATM, and withdraw your money at no cost to you. This is not a checking account. You have a share account at the credit union, so a savings account. The card is a pure ATM withdrawal card. It is not a debit card, and it isn't a credit card. This credit union is your credit union. You become a member. You become an owner. This is a minority-owned financial institution because the largest membership is minority-owned. The field of membership is for those that live, work, worship, study in the city of Wilmington and their families. So credit clinic, credit union, very quickly, tomorrow, Monday, 5:30 to 7:30 is a free Borrow Smart class at 603 North Church Street, right across from Old Sweets Church. There are 2 other programs we offer. All of our services are available to you at no cost. Tax Clinic. Now, our tax clinic is not a tax prep agency. Having said that, there are 3 nonprofit organizations that offer free tax prep services in the state of Delaware. You can call 211 to find one nearest you. We are not CPAs, we are attorneys. So our tax clinic represents you when you are in tax troubles with the IRS. When you are in tax court, Anthony Doring will be your tax attorney. Our housing clinic is about foreclosure prevention. Lillian Harrison will work with you in the foreclosure prevention endeavor. We also have another legal services within our housing program. If you don't own title to your home, maybe you own your home, but there is no documentation evidencing, proving that you are the homeowner. You might be paying mortgage on it, but there is no title in your name. If you can rightfully own that home, then Jacqueline Quinn, a Delaware attorney, will be your attorney representing you and getting title in your name through the probate process. So those are our services. We are also strong advocates. Keep an eye, residents and homeowners in the city of Wilmington, about what is happening in our ordinances, because anything that happens out there impacts you. So keep an eye on that and be very, very vigilant. And we will take us way back into 2000 when I was talking about credit cards, managing money. I think then I quickly glanced. My guest was Lynn Buchanan. So, Keisha, if you can, show me 17 years younger. Educational Special. I'm Rashmi Rangan, your host in this panel, and joining me is our friend Lynn Buchanan from Wilmington Savings Fund Society. Help me welcome Lynn Buchanan, who's going to answer many questions that I'm sure you have, because you're probably in the same boat that I found myself very recently when I opened my mailbox. The excesses of my Christmas spending. Oh boy, Lynn, that really, just looking at my bills, scared me so much. What am I gonna do? Lynn will walk me, and hopefully as she is walking me through my financial mess to get that straightened out, it will be of some help to you as well. Lynn, thanks so much for joining me today to help me with this situation I find myself in.
You're welcome.
One of the first things that I don't know what to do about at all is this 5 credit cards that I have. I've charged them pretty much to the max. My bare minimum on each credit card, I'm finding it difficult to pay, which is about $40 a month that I have to pay. And I've looked at my money situation. I can't pay it at all. I think I have no choice but to consolidate my loans. My credit is not so good, so I may have some trouble consolidating as well. Can you advise me, considering I found myself in this situation, what should I do now, and some steps that I should take so that I don't find myself in the same mess Christmas of 2000?
Well, Rashmi, the first thing you want to do is to be able to meet your minimum monthly payment, so that will preserve your credit rating.
I know.
Your budget should be the first place you look to see where you can make changes. And you'd be surprised. You may have some savings you can realize there that you don't even think about. So you may just want to take a look at your spending habits, see what changes you can make, and that will give you some extra money so you can make your minimum monthly payments and maybe even some additional payment in addition to the minimum monthly payment. Just small tips. You may just want to look at maybe your cable bill. For example, you may have 1 or 2 premium channels.
Yes.
You may not need those. You can discontinue those temporarily, and that will give you an excess of maybe $12 to $15 a month. That's one idea. Taking your lunch to work. Instead of buying lunch daily, you may just want to brown bag it for a few days a week. And you'd be surprised that maybe another $15 a week that you could save, considering you spend $5 a day for lunch. Okay, that's 2. Maybe your telephone bill.
That is my most expensive bill, trust me. I mean, it is so high. I know that I have to cut it down quite a bit. I guess I can find $15 over there, saving definitely.
Possibly you could. If you make many long-distance calls, you may just want to write a letter instead of calling that relative. Just write a letter.
I know.
That's an extra $2 or $3, depending on how long you speak. And they seem like small amounts, but they do add up. So look at your budget again, see what changes you can make there, and target these funds to make your minimum monthly payment on your cards. Don't just realize those savings and not spend the money for the purposes intended, and that is to be able to make your minimum payments on your credit card, minimum and possibly more. And that way you can pay off your bills in a short time.
Why would I have to pay more than minimum?
So that you will reduce the length of time that you pay. You'll pay less in interest, and you will pay your bills off in a short time so that you do not have the same problem next Christmas. You have a carryover from this Christmas into next holiday season. And it's just good financial practice to pay less. If you can pay less in interest, it's just more money for you.
That is absolutely true. The other thing, I mean, I know I got into this situation only because I went really overboard with my gift giving. I bought things that I just fell in love with. I didn't even think about, the recipient of the gift. I just, oh, I love this, and I bought them. And then I gave them away because I didn't have a need for it. Is there something that you can tell me so that next Christmas I don't end up carrying so much debt that I struggle with my minimum payment?
Well, number one, I think you'd want to make a conscious effort not to charge your gifts next Christmas.
Ooh, okay.
And that's hard to do. Again, if you like shopping, you get caught up in all the excitement of going into the stores at holiday season, that could be a detriment to your finances. So that's a commitment that you'll probably want to make so that you do not get caught up, and be realistic about your gift giving. Set realistic goals. Think about the purpose of giving instead of the gifts. Think about making some gifts yourself. You're pretty handy. You could probably make some gifts at home that will save you a few dollars.
Yeah.
And that will minimize your outlay, your financial outlay. What else can you do?
How come I never thought of this? I mean, it's difficult. I guess it's just getting caught the impulse of buying things. And I am very impulsive. If I walk into a store and I like something, I will buy it. Short of pinning me down to the house, I know you can't tell me not what to do, but what would it help really? Is it a mindset that I have? Is there something that I could do? Or would knowing what I'm getting into help me? I mean, I don't know what can help me. I love to shop. I don't care about tomorrow, I'll see about tomorrow. But I know that there are certain things that I have to do. Like you've told me about making sure that I make more than my minimum payments, particularly if I want to be debt-free by next Christmas. I mean, I definitely have to do far more than that $40 minimum that I have to pay, which I'm struggling with, and I have to pay at least $80 or even more a month to be able to get debt-free by December 2000. In addition, I love your advice. I hope I'll be able to keep it, and I hope I remember next Christmas about making things. Or maybe beginning now, it's only February, if I started saving a little money for my Christmas shopping, then, I like to go, I like to buy, I will have cash. So, okay, I won't charge. That is a promise to me. For next Christmas, I'm not charging any of my gifts. I'm paying it by cash. And you're going to help me make sure that, will you keep a watch over my cable to make sure that okay.
I wish I could do that.
I know. One of the things I thought might help me is consolidating all my credit cards. Do you think it's a step that I should take, given I have no control over my spending habit?
Well, consolidation is certainly an option. There are some key things to remember before you think about consolidating. One of the things would be you may want to close the credit cards that you're not going to use. If you're going to consolidate, then you want to close maybe 4 out of the 5 credit cards. Okay. That way you will not have the temptation of charging purchases. Okay. So close those cards, cut them up, get rid of those. Number 2, if you consolidate, you want to look for lower interest, the lowest interest you can find. Whether you have a fixed rate loan or you have a revolving card, you want to find something that offers you a low rate. That again would realize more savings for you because you'll be paying less in interest. But I think the consolidation will only make sense if you have the discipline to close the cards and not reopen them.
Ooh, okay. All right. I am really making this promise, and you are my witness. I'm going to consolidate my credit cards. I'm going to pay more than the minimum that I'm required to pay on my bills. And finally, I'm going to put at least $10 a month away so that Christmas of 2000, that is what I will use. Maybe more than 10, depends, if I can. And I'm really going to cut back. I'm going to seriously consider my cable, telephone, and lunch expenses. You're absolutely right, Lynn. Those are areas where I can help myself tremendously. I have a friend who is in a worse situation than me. She has terrible credit. Actually, no, I think she has no credit whatsoever. What can you tell me a little about, so I can pass it on to her, on co-signing? Can she get a co-signer to help her with start establishing credit?
Certainly, if your friend has not established any credit, the traditional means, a co-signer would be a viable option in that case. A co-signer would help her get started and be a guarantor for that loan in the event she doesn't make her payment. And that certainly is an option. That person should be one who is established and has reasonably good credit, and who is basically saying, in the event that you don't make your payment, I will take responsibility for making those payments. And if the loan is not paid on time, the primary borrower, who is your friend, will be contacted first. And in case she doesn't respond, then the relative who co-signs for her will be contacted and will have that responsibility as well. But certainly it is a way to get people started, and to get, in your case, your friend, get her started with her knowing that someone is giving her the opportunity to establish credit, and this will hopefully lead to her next loan and teach her some responsible ways or habits of managing her credit.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Lynn, for helping me and my friend in this financial situation. I'm sure we can all learn from the wonderful things you had to share with us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You are watching the DCRAC Informational Special. This program is designed to provide you with information on small business, home ownership, and money management. This program is sponsored in part by Associates National Bank of Delaware. The management and staff of Associates are very proud to bring this special to you. Housing counseling in Delaware. Community housing, 652-3991. Interfaith Mission of Sussex County, 537-9773. First State Community Action Agency, 856-7761. Interfaith Housing of Delaware, 995-7408. Hockessin Community Center, 239-2363. In-call research, 678-9400. Housing Opportunities of Northern Delaware, 429-0794. Neighborhood House, 652-3928. Centers for Home Ownership, 888-7790. A few of Delaware's small business resources. Business Information Center, 571-5225. Capital Works in Dover, 741-1133. Capital Works in Wilmington, 658-7161. Delaware Economic Development Office, 739-4271. First State Community Loan Fund, 652-6774. MASBEC, Delaware State University, 857-6954. Wilmington Micro Loan Program, 571-5469. Micro Business Chamber of Commerce, 658-7161. Small Business Development Center. In Newark, 831-1555. In Wilmington, 571-1555. In Dover, 678-1555. And in Georgetown, 856-1555. SCORE, Delaware Chapter 42, 573-6552. U.S. Small Business Administration, 573-6382. USDA Rural Development, 697-4324. Wilmington Economic Development Corporation, 571-9088. Wilmington Office of Economic Development, 571-4169. WSFS, 573-3229.
I'm running a business. I don't have time for this. So they sell my bank. Big deal. Then they close the branch near my business. Then they tell me I have to call an 800 number to try to renew my credit line, with the emphasis on try to. Now I'm mad. Went right down to WSFS, got my credit line, got a local loan officer, got rid of my old bank.
WSFS. Right size, right here, right choice.
See what happens when you make me mad?
Hello, and welcome back to this segment of the DCRAC Informational Special. We've kind of switched positions on you for a minute. I'm going to host this segment, and Rashmi's going to answer questions for us. In the previous segment, Lynn Buchanan gave us some tip ideas about how to pay down our debt after our Christmas shopping. I hope that you found some value in the tips that Lynn gave us. I want to start off with asking Rashmi some questions about, Rashmi, what are some of the situations that we can get ourselves in as far as having credit problems?
Oh, Greta, gosh. First, thank you so much for being the host. This is just awesome. It helps me tremendously. In fact, this will be an interesting presentation today. We'll have 3 different hosts. Thanks so much. There are so many situations in our lives that get ourselves in credit situations that have long-term negative impact on our credit. One of them is emergencies that we didn't plan for. While we always advise everyone that look at your budget, see your expenses, and you should have at least 3 months worth of expenses in your account that you can access. And ideally, it should be 6 months, so that if an emergency comes your way, there is still no reason for you to get behind. But that is always one situation where, some emergency, the roof has to be repaired. I didn't plan for it in my budget, and there it is. I had to borrow. I am unable to make my minimum payment, and I ruin my credit. That's just one example of situations that could ruin your credit. Then I have noticed in cases where, say, if you're a student or a short-term tenure, say, somewhere in Florida for 3 months, and you rented an apartment with somebody else, your name is on the lease, and you walked away paying the remainder of your portion to whoever you rented it with, and that other person doesn't pay. Guess who just ruined their credit? The person who was on the lease. Not paying utility bills. That is just yet another way. You'll be surprised. You don't pay your telephone bill, you don't pay your electric bill, you don't pay your cable bill. It all goes to the credit reporting bureaus. And whenever it gets there, it is on your credit report, and your credit report just got ruined. What are the examples? Emergencies, I already mentioned. Oh, job loss. We all, particularly in 2-income families, we rely on 2 incomes, and we carry debts that go all the way for my income, my husband's income. I'm relying on two incomes, and one fine day, if I were to lose my job, my debt is so high that without that second income, there is no way I will be able to make my payments. And right away, what have I done? I've put myself into a situation where there is no way out. Sure, there is unemployment income, but it's not enough. And finally, I think this is one that I've seen so many times, medical report. Not what medical report? There's medical credit expenses. You know, not knowing my copay obligations, not knowing what health insurance coverage, what portion of payment I'm responsible for, what my doctor is responsible for, or health care provider. I think that kicks so many times into all of the credit reports that I've seen. I've seen tons of them. It doesn't have a very adverse effect often, because sometimes, I mean, lenders are usually very, very good about recognizing those medical emergencies. But I think it does make sense to, you know your obligations, to make sure that you just are in control of your credit. Your credit is so important.
Yeah, I agree. Credit is very, very valuable. Just don't know how important it is until you really want to go out and get something large and you get turned down for it, like a home or a car, something that you really need. And then you really understand how valuable your credit is and how very important it is to maintain a good credit history. Unfortunately, however, the reality is so many people find themselves in credit with problems with their credit. Once you've experienced those problems, what can people do to get out of that?
Well, one of the things is, I call it the ostrich syndrome. Do not suffer from that. And what does an ostrich do? Usually it'll dig its head in the sand and think, oh gosh, trouble is not my way, when you know that the trouble is certainly on its way to you. If you anticipate first that you're likely to not be able to make your payments on time, work with your creditor. Talk to your creditor. Put everything in writing. Support them with documentation. You will be actually surprised how willing your creditor is to work with you. I mean, it's so simple. Pick up the phone, talk to them, explain to them, look, this is what all of a sudden happened to me. There was no way I could do a thing about it. Help me, work with me. And they are willing to work with you. But one word of caution, if you ever ask a creditor to work with you, you have to work with them. If you say, I promise to pay you $40 on the 15th of every month until I'm paid up, you've been given a second chance. Don't blow it off. Stick to that payment, which is why always make promises that you can meet. And don't make unrealistic promises, you know. If you know you can't meet that promise, don't promise too much.
Okay, I think that one of the things is that so many people try to live beyond their means, and I think that becomes a problem when your expenses are high and your income is low, and then in cases where people are living on a fixed income. What are some of the things that people can do about that?
Well, often I would say that over income you have absolutely no control. You have only fixed income. But I would actually have to add that yes, you do have control. Two things that you can do. One is, if your income is low, but you look at your schedule and you see you have time and you know that your expenses are more than your income, you could, and again, it's not something that everybody can, but you could find a second part-time job that will increase your income just a little bit more. The second thing you can do is, and here is some information I am going to read from the IRS website, and to log on to that website, www.irs.gov. And if your income is low and it is an earned income, that means you had to have earned it, worked for it, either worked at a job or even in your small business if you paid yourself. So it is an income that you earned, and there are certain criteria, and I won't go through that. You can always call IRS by calling 1-800-TAX, T-A-X, form, F-O-R-M, and you will get all that information. But earned income tax credit is just one way that you can actually increase your income. And I'm sure if you're eligible, you've already talked to your employers and you've already signed up for that. But there is yet another piece, and that is advanced earned income tax credit. And advanced earned income works this way. Rather than waiting for a year to end before you get your lump sum tax refund, you can collect on it on a monthly basis. Now, if my expenses show that it's $100 more than my income, I could definitely opt for getting my advanced earned income credit each month rather than getting lump sum at the end. What good will it do? In fact, we do have our third panel guests are from the State Division of Revenue, and they're going to help us a little more. Just a little more I want to say about the IRS office is on King Street, 3rd floor. You can walk into that IRS office and you can get help with your tax forms and all that stuff. Pick up the forms, tax returns, etc., etc.
Okay, thank you, Rashmi. That's good information. Well, quickly, could you give us a few savings tips?
Oh, real quick? Okay, one of the things that we can talk a little about is if you have an income, you've got to pay increase. That increase, put it away. If you are used to grocery shopping with coupons, the coupons that you use, put that money away. That is, if your total grocery bill is $50 and you had coupons worth of $5, put that $5 away. I mean, those are just a few tips that you have. There are any number of tax refund. I mean, this is the tax refund time, and I'm sure you're going to get some money coming in. Put that away in your savings fund. And Lynn already gave me so many tips on looking at my expenses. And, you know, from my cable I could save, from my telephone I could save, and there are so many ways that you can save. Actually, can I take a few minutes and make a couple of announcements if I can find them? Okay, one is our guest for our March television show will be a lawyer. He's a professor at the Widener University School of Law. So if you're a small business owner or a starting enterprise and you have questions that relate to legal issues in small businesses, call us right now so that we can have those questions asked of our professor at the next program.
Thank you very much, Rashmi. Please stay tuned for the next segment.
I'm running a business. I don't have time for this. So they sell my bank. Big deal. Then they close the branch near my business. Then they tell me I have to call an 800 number to try to renew my credit line, with the emphasis on try to. Now I'm mad. Went right down to WSFS, got my credit line, got a local loan officer, got rid of my old bank.
WSFS. Right size, right here, right choice.
See what happens when you make me mad?
A few resources in Delaware for employment opportunities. Advanced Staffing, 326-5400. All-State Career School, 610-521-1818, extension 225. Career Exploration Program, 573-2447. City of Wilmington, 571-4676. Delaware Technical and Community College, 571-5313. Delaware Department of Labor, 761-8085 or 368-6622. Delaware Elwyn, 658-88 Delaware Green Work 658-6262. Delaware Skills Center 654-5392. Delaware State University 857-6820. Goodwill Industries 761-4644, extension 201. Latin American Community Center 655-7338. Ministry of Caring 652-5522. Neighborhood House 652-3928. OA Herring Community Services 764-0137. Opportunity Center 762-0300. Philadelphia School of Bartending 652-1170. Polytech Adult Education 697-4545. Professional Staffing Solutions 652-3519. Women Achieving New Directions 658-7161.
You are watching the DCRAC Informational Special. This program is designed to provide you with information on small business, home ownership, and money management. This program is sponsored in part by Associates National Bank of Delaware. The management and staff of Associates are very proud to bring this special to you.
The Mid-Atlantic Fair Housing Summit 2000, April 26th and 27th, 2000, at Wyndham Garden Hotel in Wilmington, Delaware. Call HOND at 429-0794. Gala auction to benefit the housing counselors, March 12th, 2000, 5 p.m. at DuPont Country Club. Tickets are $50 per person. Help raise funds for those who helped you in your quest for home ownership. Call 453-4455 or 652-3991. March 11th, 2000, Financial Management Workshop at Kingswood Community Center, 2300 Bowers Street, Wilmington, Delaware. Call 654-5024. Please help me raise funds for the Muscular Dystrophy Association, commonly known as the MDA. Your pledge of $10 will help me raise $1,600, which is my bail for the MDA lockup. On March 8th, our guest is Professor Paul Regan. He is a professor at Widener University School of Law. Call now with your small business related legal questions so that we can answer those questions on the March 8th television show. The phone number is 654-5024.
Welcome back. I'm Becky Smalley with the Delaware Division of Revenue, and with me this afternoon is James Stewart with the Delaware Division of Revenue, Manager of Personal Income Tax, and together we are bringing you information on what you need to know to file your Delaware State income tax returns this year. First thing you need to know is the filing deadline. And James, what is the filing deadline for Delaware State tax returns?
The filing deadline is May the 1st this year. Normally it's April the 30th, because April the 30th is on a Sunday this year, we are allowing you to file your return by midnight, May the 1st.
So Delaware allows taxpayers to file a little bit later than the federal, gives you some extra time to get your documents together and get those state tax returns off. The good news, we always love to bring good news to our viewers, is that taxes are lower this year and they're going to be even lower next year. But we're going to talk about the things that have lowered your tax return, or have lowered your taxes for this year. And James, can you elaborate on some of the legislation that decreased taxes for Delawareans this year?
Yes. Several things are available this year to taxpayers to lower their tax liability. The first thing would be the standard deduction has increased for all taxpayers. Married filing a joint return this year has gone from $1,600 to $4,000. Single taxpayers, the deduction has moved from $1,300 to $3,250. Now, for married filing separately, those taxpayers are allowed to claim a standard deduction of $2,000 for this year. Some other ones, there's additional standard deduction for taxpayers who are 65 and or blind. If they are 65 and or blind, the deduction has increased from $1,000 to $2,500. So something very important for a person 65 or blind to make sure that they check on their tax return. Also, pension exclusion for Delaware residents who are 60 and over. And again, I want to say 60 and over. We get a lot of phone calls asking if I'm under 60, will the exclusion, has the exclusion raised? The answer is no. If you're under 60, the exclusion is still $2,000. But if you're 60 and over, the exclusion has gone from $3,000 to $5,000. Also, that includes eligible retirement income. That includes 401k income, IRAs, interest, and dividends. And again, this is for taxpayers who are 60 and over. The tax rate has gone down for taxpayers with income in excess of $60,000. The tax rate for this year is now 5.95. So those were the tax cuts for the year.
Now, people will see the benefit of the reduction in tax through the withholding. Their withholding has gone down, so they have seen fewer tax dollars being taken out of their paychecks this past year, so that more money stays with them. Is that correct?
That is correct. All the tax rates have gone down by at least 40 percentage points.
And the benefits for the taxpayers that will help them see a reduced tax when they file their return is the increase in the standard deduction and those types of...
Those taxpayers who are, again, who are 60 and over or 65, who have reached the age of 65 because of those deductions increasing.
Right. And there are several ways that taxpayers can file their returns. Many years ago, the only way you could file a return was to take a form and a pencil and write in your numbers and sign it, stuff it in an envelope and mail it off. And when you would do this, your refund would be returned to you in 4 to 6 weeks. And if there was an error on the return or if you mailed it late in the tax season, it could take you up to 6 or 7 weeks to get your refund. But Jim, with the new technology and ways for filing returns now other than paper, refund turnaround times have been sped up, have they not?
Yes. You have available to you when you file a federal return and also Delaware returns, electronic filing. Electronic filing is, Delaware's involved with the federal government in a piggyback situation where it's called one-stop shopping. You have your federal return filed and your Delaware return follows right behind. And on the Delaware side, it takes a refund about 7 days, 5 to 7 days to receive back electronically if you file that return. if there are no errors. This is a very quick and accurate way of receiving your refund.
So to go from 14 or 12 or 10 weeks to get a refund through electronic filing now, you can get your refund in
5 to 7 days.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, we have available this year internet filing. You can actually be at home, key in your return, and you can send that information right to Delaware for free. You would just go at our website and file your return. Do what the system tells you to do. Send that to Delaware. We will send you an acknowledgement letting you know that we have received your return, so you don't have to worry about whether or not your return was received by the Delaware Division of Revenue. Also, we allow direct deposit on the electronically filed returns and also the internet returns. So just another way. Direct deposit will allow your refund to come even quicker. So just something to think about. You can go to our website address at
www.state.de.us/revenue. And when you go into our website, not only will you be able to file your state return online, but you will be able to get copies of your tax forms that you might need. There will be email addresses there. If you have tax questions, you can write in and you will get an answer back within 24 hours helping you with whatever tax assistance you would need. So online filing is available from our website, and as Jim said, you file online, you get your refund back in a couple of days. You can have your refund deposited directly into your banking account, whether it be your checking or savings account, and it's accurate. When that return is filed online, the math is done accurately, the information is accurate. There isn't the risk of having made a math error that can slow down that refund check. So,
yes. Something else that the taxpayers should be aware of, they can have their returns done free of charge by the Delaware Division of Revenue. They need to visit our offices. We have 3 locations, but in the Wilmington area, it's the Carville State Office Building on 820 North French Street. And we're open from 8 until 4:30. What they need to do is make sure that they have their federal return filled out first. That's the first thing to do. Have their federal return filled out. Bring over your federal return with your W-2s and all of your schedules. Come over. We will prepare your return on the internet. And again, making sure that you get a quick refund.
where can our viewers go to have their federal return prepared at no charge?
In Wilmington, they can go to the office, I think it's the Boggs Federal Building on King Street, 9th and King.
Is that the Internal Revenue Service?
The Internal Revenue Service. So they can go right to that office building and have their federal return filled out.
And that's done electronically?
They have electronically and also just manual returns done also.
And if they have their return done electronically at the IRS building, their return will be printed, a copy will be printed out for them. They can take that copy one block down to the Carville State Office building, where they can take that return in and have a representative from the Division of Revenue complete their Delaware return online over the internet. And
any other questions that they have, if they need to know if certain deductions are allowed to them on their state return, if they have certain deductions on their federal return that were not allowed but may be allowed on their Delaware return, they can ask those type of questions also. So we're there to help them. We also have some phone numbers. We're going to give.
Yeah, we can give out some phone numbers at the Carville State Office building. If you would like to call for assistance, the number is 302-577-8200. And Jim, we talked about direct deposit when you file a return electronically, but supposing a person owes at the end of the year, and suppose they don't have the money to pay the tax, what advice can you give taxpayers who are facing a tax liability and don't have the funds to pay it?
One important thing is to always make sure that you file your tax return. If you don't file your tax return by April 30th, generally, but May the 1st this year, what can happen, Delaware has a penalty, and that's 5% of the balance due up to a maximum of 50% of the balance due. You really don't want to get in the habit of filing a return late or without an extension, I should say. Also, the extension should be filed by May the 1st if you plan to extend your return. But you don't want to get in the habit of having your return prepared and seeing your balance due on the return and then not filing it. Because we do receive information from the federal government that will alert us, and we will then send you a letter in years to come saying that you have not filed a tax return with the state of Delaware. And at that time, you'll have to write a protest letter for that penalty and ask for forgiveness of the penalty. Interest will remain, but interest is 1% a month. Again, you don't want to have us file your tax return for you because you do not file your return and do not supply information to us.
So the best thing to do if you're in a situation where you owe and can't pay is to file the return, call our office at 577-8200 and ask to speak to somebody in our billing and collections department because aren't there different types of arrangements that can be made to help individuals who need to pay?
Yes, there are different type of arrangements, but you must call the division and we'll sit down with you and try to make everything as pleasant as possible, dealing with your tax return, put you on a schedule so that you can pay your tax liability.
So the lowest possible penalty situation for somebody who owes but can't pay is to file that return. It will impose the lowest penalty, and through the installment plan or whatever, the payments will be made, and the lowest possible charges will be made to the individuals.
Yes.
Okay. We've talked about the reduction in tax liabilities. We've talked about the increase in deductions. We've talked about methods for filing your tax return, whether it's paper or electronic. We've talked about where you can go for free assistance at the Internal Revenue Service building at 9th and King Street and the State Office building at 9th and French Streets. Jim, is there anything else that we need to talk about?
We have a 1-800 number. It's for taxpayers who live in Wilmington. It's 1-800-292-7826.
Are there any tax tips that we can leave with our viewers as we wrap up this session of the program?
Make sure you file early. File by April 1st to ensure that you receive a speedy refund. Make sure that you, first of all, again, do your federal return first and then do your Delaware return. Because Delaware is a piggyback state, we want you to do your federal return and then do your Delaware return. Put your return down, go back and check the return just to make sure that it's accurate. Also, use our internet address to file your tax return. Again, that will be open most of the year. So.
Well, Jim, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. We hope that the information that we've brought to you will help you as you prepare your Delaware State income tax return. Remember, you can call us for assistance at
1-800-292-7826.
You can come into our office and receive taxpayer assistance in terms of questions, filing your return, and we just wish the very best this tax season and happy filing. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
You are watching the DCRAC Informational Special. This program is designed to provide you with information on small business, home ownership, and money management. This program is sponsored in part by Associates National Bank of Delaware. The management and staff of Associates are very proud to bring this special to you.